Actually, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I heard you act and you're a musician as well.
I am it.
Pardon
I
me.
said I am it. No, I'm not. I'm producer.
MoneyGram sponsors the TheNanaChurcherShow.
In such a way that we keep a lot of things to ourselves. Things that we could easily.
Thank you so much. I'll come back and have my share. Welcome to the Nana Churches Show, a show that inspires, motivates, and entertains you. Today, I have one of Africa's son. His story is going to really motivate and inspire you. He is a man that was sold into slavery when he was 6 years old. He is in the person of Mr. Godfred, Chief Medicine. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir, madam.
So, you were 6 years old when your mother sold you into slavery.
Yes.
Why was that?
Yeah, I believe that it's one precious from her family.
Yeah.
Because my grandmother, who gave birth to my father, was regarded as an outcast, and therefore an outcast giving birth to a son who eventually became a double outcast.
Double outcast.
Yes,
I like that.
double outcast. Therefore, they would not allow my father to marry to my mother, a man who has no father, who has no recognition in the land of Anglos. So I think that is the main reason why, because when my mother refused to abort the baby, they have to push her to my grandmother, who has already been rejected all around. And then after she gave birth, she was able to be with my grandmother for only 7 months and left me in the mercy of my grandmother.
Wow.
And then they took her away, and I don't know where she went to. Later, when I was 6 years, happily living a free care life with my grandmother, having everything to myself. Though she have to go to funeral homes, get food for me to eat. But
Hold
I
on.
think,
Your grandmother had to get to funeral homes to
Yeah.
get food for you to eat.
yes,
Why is that?
She was old lady. She's not strong to work, and I am not grown also to work either. So I think that might be the reason why. And she cannot go asking people, give me food
Yeah.
to feed my son or my grandson.
Yeah.
So she believed the only place she can get the food is to go to funeral homes and get food when they are sharing food, and which is a normal thing that happened in my village. So that's how she kept me surviving, and I was okay because that was a freedom for me.
Wow.
That was somebody who loved me, and then I don't even feel for the absence of my parent or my mother. So I think I was the best person in the world, living with my grandmother, till one day when she left for another village for the funeral, probably to get food for me again. When a woman came, that she's my mother, with an uncle that I know who always come to greet my grandmother. So after they introduced me to, they introduced the woman to me, they told me that she's taking me to the big city, Accra.
So when she came, the lady who supposedly says
Yeah.
she's your mom
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
and was going to take you to Accra.
Yeah.
Were you happy? Were you happy that, oh, my mom is here? Or
Yeah, the first thing I asked was, where is my grandmother?
okay.
And they made me aware that she actually took the lead to the big city. So she's actually waiting for me there. I was sad because my grandmother never lied to me before.
Yes.
I'm aware that she's traveling. But, well, I also believe in her giving me surprises. That's another thing. So I think I was eager more to go and see my grandmother in the big city
Than traveling with your mother.
Not that I trust the message of the woman, because for me, my grandmother is my mother. So I didn't trust anybody, but I only trust to go and see my grandmother in the big city because she always gives me surprises. Yeah.
So now she's gone to see this farmer and sold you into slavery.
Yeah.
And when you met this couple,
Yeah.
what happened?
Yeah. When my mother introduced me to the man and the wife, and then we have to. They welcome me. They say I'm going to see big city. I'm going to see light. Have I seen light before? I said no. I'm going to see so many things.
Light.
Yes, I'm going to see so many things. I'm going to eat good food. I was so much happy.
Yes.
Because my grandmother always tells me that better things will come.
Yes.
And I believe that that is the beginning.
Yes.
And also with a very good belief that she's actually make all these things come to pass. So I just have to follow them. I don't bother where is my mother. So when we got to we're in the car, by the close of the day, we got to a place where we have to cross the river. So that I then ask, so is my grandmother actually after the river? They say yes. Is Accra actually after the river? They say yes. So I never bother. I have to pass on the river. All that I want is to see my grandmother in that big city.
Now you're in slavery. You're sold into slavery, and this couple are maltreating you.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Of course, yes.
What did you do for them to maltreat you?
I actually do nothing. For me, by my grandmother's admonishment, she made me aware that I should give love for hatred. That has been part of my life because I watch her, people beat her, she go back to beg the people, she become friend with the people, and she accept these people's children just like how she accept me, and she made me aware that they are part of me, even where I saw the parent of these children beat my grandmother. All right. So at the end of the day, I believe that it is always better to forgive. It is always better to give love for hatred. And she made me aware. Anytime I sit down, I never, when she feels that I'm not talking, she thinks that I'm thinking of my parents. Because she's not young for me to believe that she's my real mother. So she always tells me, you don't need your mother to survive. You don't need your father to survive. You don't also need me to survive. You need yourself. Yourself is the only thing you need to survive. Because as long as you live, you have gained. So all that she made me aware, it makes me withstand any kind of pressure. When I'm going through beatings, when I'm going through traumas, abusement, as long as I've been able to leave the next minute to realize that the beating was over, the problem was over, and I'm breathing, I believe it's gain.
So some of the beatings, you know, and the cruelty and the punishment, they did tie your hands.
They tied my hand with rope, connected it to my leg, and hang it in between trees, 2 big trees. And as anybody who comes beat you, you will be hung there from morning to evening.
From morning to evening,
yes.
Without food?
No, who thinks of food? Nobody is thinking of food.
I think of food. And also she put pepper in your eye.
Yeah, when she's asking you questions, and then it's a problem when she come asking you question, because one, if you keep quiet, she say you are insulting her in your head. You do not regard her. If you talk, she say she talk, you talk. If you want to move away from there, she say you walk on her. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
My goodness.
So there's nothing you can do. Yours is to keep quiet, because definitely if you talk, it's going to be bigger crime. If you keep quiet, it's also a crime. If you walk away, it's also another crime. So you have to choose one.
None of the above.
You have to choose one. So as you choose one, she will definitely be offended. So she will just go get pepper. Before she come to you, she already have the pepper, because she don't want you to run away. So as she's talking to you, she asks you a question, you didn't answer, then she just spits the pepper into your face. There you begin to scream, and then she have to start doing whatever she wants to do.
So I also learned that you survived numerous times, you know, surviving the beatings, after the beatings, hitting of canoe paddles, and you have some, I could see the mark on your forehead, actually.
You saw that mark on my forehead. That was the 4th time I've drawn in the river. And this I survived after 2 days.
2 days in the river?
Yeah, not 2 days in the river. This happened at dawn. around 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning. What happened? We cast the net, and the net unfortunately hooked a tree in the river.
Yeah.
So you have to dive about 60 yards deeper. So when I got to the ground in the river, I dived. Then I realized that it wasn't tree; it was crocodile that had swallowed our net.
Oh dear.
So the crocodile just lied on the ground, and we are pulling the net, and the net wasn't coming. So my master thought it was a tree. Therefore, I have to go and remove the net. When I found the crocodile realized that there's
Meat.
somebody around. So the crocodile stirs the water with its tail, and that have to
Okay.
stir me together with the water with a very strong speed. Then, all of a sudden, I struggled to and come up. When I came up, my master pulled the net, and the net was still hanging. Therefore, he asked me to go back. And I told him, I want to defend myself, that this is what I've seen, that he's not going to believe that. And I was out of breath. So I have to hold the canoe for some time. So when I got to the canoe, and then he came, he used his leg to stab my
Wow.
hands as I hold the canoe.
Wow.
And there, as I want to speak to him, he asked me to go. And I move away in the water, trying to talk to him. That is where he used the paddle to hit me, and I have to drown. And that is the cut you are seeing. It
Wow.
was in the evening that another people came to cast net, and they pulled me out from the river unknowingly.
This is a man who has a real story. Stay tuned and we'll be right back.
In such a way that we keep a lot of things.
Action. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I heard you act and you're a musician as well.
I amn't.
Pardon
I
me.
said I amn't. No. I'm not. I'm producing.
MoneyGram sponsors The Nana Churcher Show.